from the agency, inside Mohawk College, this is Behind the Mic. Featuring second-year radio broadcasting students and Ignite radio personalities. We've got your latest entertainment news, gossip, advice, and in-studio guests. Live from the agency, inside Mohawk College, this is Behind the Mic.
Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic, live from the agency here at Mohawk College. My name is Jamie Harrison, taking over hosting duties this week from Mara Conacher. She's out sick, but that's cool. We're going to have a good time today. On today's show, we're talking about the Ticats. They're heading to the Grey Cup. We're very excited for them. As well, Justin Bieber. What did he get up to this weekend? More trouble as always. We've got Garnet Williams. He's a voiceover professional here today. Todd's going to be talking to him later. As well, the entertainment panel is back. We're going to be talking with them in just a minute. You're going to want to stick around.
I started off with a cold. My doctor told me I had leukemia.
Madison has a heart defect. They were pretty convinced Madison wasn't going to come home.
I think it's very important for people to come together, help each other out.
We realized the Canadian Blood Services was going to be a major part of our lives for the rest of our lives. She required well over 40 transfusions. You just realized how many people were trying to help save your child's life.
Become a blood donor. Visit blood.ca and book an appointment now.
Welcome back to Behind the Mic, live from the agency at Mohawk College. As always, we have the entertainment panel here today. You can go online after, click on the host tab up above, and get more information on them. Joining us, we have Casey, we have John, and we have our lovely interviewer, Todd Garlow, everybody.
Lovely, thank
Lovely.
you.
I'm trying to flatter you,
I appreciate that.
We got to get a good relationship going early on in the show.
Got it. Let's talk Ticats, man.
Yeah, Ticats.
Yeah.
You and Casey all decked out in your Ticats uniforms,
Incredible game, a nail biter. It just looked like the Argos were really going to take charge, and then the defense of the Ticats just came straight back and had ball possession for over 8 minutes, which just tired out the defense of the Argos and just led to an amazing second half. I mean,
you can't win if you don't have the ball, and the Argos didn't have the ball. And they
exactly. So final score, 36-24. We're heading to Saskatchewan for the Grey Cup.
Right.
If you guys could go, would you?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. 101st. That's right. We're going to win the cup and bring it back so that when we do win, we're starting the new season with the new stadium.
Oh,
very
that's
true.
Right.
See, I remember going to play water polo down on weeknights when I was much younger, and Iverwin is right next to where I'd play.
Right.
So the Ticats would always be practicing and occasionally go over and you watch them for just a little bit.
Yeah.
Always a great time. So I'm excited to see the new Iverwin.
It should be really, really cool. I've seen a few schematics of it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that new stadium is very intimidating.
Is it?
Yes.
So.
Well, it just looks huge, and it looks like it's coming onto the street when you drive by.
Right, yeah, because they've
Oh,
actually
right.
changed it from north to south to east to
Right.
west. So.
Fair enough. Well, now, at the game, of course, the Argos had their lovely Toronto mayor, Rob Ford, was there.
Yeah.
And, he wasn't very welcome.
No.
He got a beer can thrown at his
Was
head.
it full?
No, it wasn't
Okay.
full. It looked like it was at least half empty because it looked like there was a little splatter there. But, you
But
know.
he was told by the Argo officials, don't show up to the game. And we're not paying for you, so
Why
you
did
have
he show up?
to pay for your own ticket.
Because he's Rob Ford.
That's true.
He wants to be known. If he's not known, then he can't continue doing what he does.
Which is what?
Nothing.
It's,
You have to be in the public eye for doing nothing to continue doing nothing.
I guess, but I mean, good on him. If he's going to try and continue being mayor, well, he's going to get his face out there.
That's very true. Continuing with that, though, SNL this weekend making fun of Mr. Ford. They took Bobby Moynihan, dressed up as him, doing the whole press conference thing.
Yeah.
Very funny sketch. Ultimately ending with him going on 60 Minutes and 60 Minutes just being like, you know what? You're a good person, Rob Ford. We believe in you. Greatest mayor ever. Somehow, I think that's actually going to happen at some point down the line.
You think so?
60 Minutes is going to call him up and be like, you know what? Let's do a profile on you. Let's have some fun with this. And if Rob Ford pays them the right amount of money, they'll say whatever he wants.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'd watch it.
I think so. It'd be an interesting thing to see. I mean, Rob Ford, with all the controversy surrounding him, he needs something good. He needs some good PR right now.
Yeah.
If 60 Minutes could give him that good PR,
You'd have to
then,
pay him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if he's taken from taxpayer money, he could probably do it. We don't know that he is.
Let's
There
hope
is
that
nothing
doesn't.
confirmed on that, so we don't know what Rob Ford is going to do. I believe they're having another meeting this week to determine whether or not he's going to lose more of his judicial powers there.
See what happens. What do you think, Casey?
I honestly, I feel bad for the guy, and I know that most people probably wouldn't, but I think that if he were to step down, then he can just go and do whatever he wants, and then the spotlight can focus on something more important in life. I just, like I said, I do feel bad for him, just like all the media surrounding him, and
He's done it to himself.
and I understand that, I really do. I just feel like my opinion is that he should step down so that he can walk away and he can go have his life and he can do what he wants in his own private home, and it doesn't have to be televised and doesn't make the Canada look like an idiot in front of the whole world.
I think he's done a good job, but you can tell when someone has an addiction, and you can tell when someone needs help, and I think he does need help.
That's why I think he should step down.
Right.
He's addicted to the publicity. He hasn't filed for an injunction to, stop council from doing what they're going to do. So clearly he wants to be in the camera's eyesight. He wants to be there.
Yeah.
If he tried to stop them, what would be the point for him? There's no more attention on him.
True enough.
All right, speaking of somebody else who gets a lot of attention, I like to call him Mini Rob Ford, Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
But you look at it this way. Bieber's doing drugs, Bieber's partying and having sex with porn stars apparently, and Bieber's being Bieber and having, he's just being Rob Ford Jr. That's what I like to think
He's
of
being
it
a
as.
celebrity.
Yeah, that's
he
very
is,
true.
but thank goodness he's not in charge of Toronto.
That's true, but one
Although
day,
he
you
is
never
Canadian.
know.
Yep, true.
It could happen one day.
On the weekend, Bieber was having a party at his house, and he had guests sign a contract that said $3 million. If you speak about it, you got to pay me that much. He had a lot of people there, about 100 people around there. Snoop Lion was there as well. I love Snoop Lion.
Well, I'm not a big fan, but I mean, he's doing what he's doing.
That's very true. It'd be cool if he was performing.
That would be interesting, yeah.
Because Snoop either performing or he brought the weed. It's one or the other.
Right, one or the other.
So,
Or both.
yeah,
Definitely both.
definitely both. You know what? They were working on some remixes that night. The party's going on in the background. Snoop's over there
You
dropping
never
a
know.
beat.
Yeah.
You
They're
never
dropping it
know.
like it's hot. That's what it is.
New single coming out soon.
New single, Drop It Like It's Hot, featuring Justin Bieber, the Canadian version.
The Canadian version, that could work.
It could definitely
Drop the
work.
maple syrup like it's hot.
That definitely works. All right, let's talk about Robbing the Cradle a little bit. Joaquin Phoenix dating a 19-year-old. He's
Allegedly.
39. No, it's not allegedly. He's dating
No,
a
she's
19-year-old.
allegedly 19.
Oh, yes, that's right. Her name is, Allie Teals. Allie Teals, she's 19, she's a DJ. She's been performing since she was 16, and I guess they're spotted in Rome together over the weekend.
Right.
I don't know, I don't like the Robbing the Cradle celebrity thing going. Like, J-Lo's done it.
Lately.
Yeah, J-Lo's done it, Demi Moore's done it, now Joaquin Phoenix. It's not really necessary.
No, but I mean, when you get that celebrity status, I guess you can make your own decisions as to what, if someone's of legal age.
Very true.
Do you think this could be a promotion for his next movie?
Maybe. He is promoting a movie called Her out in Rome right now, so that could very well be it. And then I think we're going to end with one more thing here, guys. PS4 came out on Friday.
Absolutely.
Sold over 1 million units in the first 24 hours.
That's crazy.
PlayStation's prediction was by I think within the first year, they said they wanted to sell 4 million. So already a quarter of the way there. Kind of big.
Looking forward to actually Xbox One coming.
Xbox One coming out on Friday. I haven't heard much about what they're planning to do with it. I've heard that a lot of retailers aren't getting as many units as they did for PlayStation 4. So let's see how Microsoft handles that. But they're playing it fair. They wished PlayStation congratulations on Friday on the system launch.
That's good.
We'll see if PlayStation responds. All right, that is it for the entertainment section of the show, guys. We'll be back in just a minute with another edition of He Said, She Said. Welcome back to the Behind the Mic, live from the agency at Mohawk College. As you can see, I'm on the couch this week, so that means I'm not part of He Said, She Said, but Stephanie is around with Mr. Matt Lovell. Let's see what they're talking about this week.
Welcome back to Behind the Mic, live from the M-Link studios. We are now with He Said, She Said. I'm Steph Parry, and this week I am joined by the wonderful Mr. Matt Lovell.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
I'm
I'd
glad.
love to be the special guest this week.
This week we are talking about school emails and the importance of them and where they are coming from. Because this week, you know, you were due to pay your deposit or your full tuition if that's what you did all at the same time. Now, we obviously found out the day before.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
Which was fun.
No, and we all went and checked our Mocomotion emails within our program, and we all said the same thing. Where was that email? Well, that email was cluttered in with about 7 different emails involving things like pub night and events that were coming to the school, which to me are not important really, especially when I'm going through school and I've got thousands of assignments and I'm paying to go to school, not to pay to go to another event again. I feel like our emails about our deposits and the money idea behind things should be going to our eLearn emails, which is the one we check every day because that's where our teachers' emails go. Do you agree or disagree on this?
I kind of do. I actually think it should be all one. Instead of having the 2 separate ones, put them together. I think the Mocomotion, not a lot of people know about it or even check it. It's not one of those things that you typically do. But the eLearn, I'm always on eLearn. I'm always checking it, which when you told me again, and even when we found out on Twitter, that was like, oh, hey, your tuition's due or your deposit's due. Oh, thanks. You gotta go and get it all done right at the last minute. I just like it all to be in one. I think 2 systems is just weird and unnecessary.
See, I like the idea of having 2 systems, but I would like the Mocomotion email specifically should just be things for events happening around the school. Pub night, you know, we had an international marketplace come and sell things, or food tasting. That kind of thing could go to my Mocomotion email. All my alumni emails can go there. Things that aren't specifically important, but still hold some sort of interest. But I want all my important emails to go to my eLearn account, which is why I check daily, and then I'll know, and I won't be rushing at the last minute to get my deposit in because I found out the day before on Twitter. I understand that social media is a big thing now, and I like that they tweeted that, but if we hadn't had that, a lot of people wouldn't have known, a lot of people wouldn't have paid, and a lot of people would have gone through the penalty of having that extra $100 added on. In my opinion, it's something the school really needs to look at. And I mean, I've been to another college institute before, and we never got that much emails to one place when there was so much more important stuff coming through. I don't know, is there anything you would change about the emailing system besides just having the one account?
Well, I think the main thing I would change is probably the categorization, or what's important, because if you look at the Mocomotion, looks like almost every single one is important, or maybe have one that's really important bolded, italicized, whatever you want to do to it, and then have the other ones kind of like a, kind of put them down. Like have priorities in there, not make everything important. Everything is bolded, so I think everything's important, and they all come from the Office of Administration, which is literally the same thing all the way down. I have no idea what they're telling me. Yeah. I don't know if it's this thing or that thing, a concert. Just organize it. It's a simple solution to it, or maybe put subheadings or something to just make it a little easier to access.
You're talking about subheadings there. Google, when they did their update recently, they created little subheadings, and you have promotions, social media, and your regular important emails. Maybe that's something the school should look into, because things like social for me would be anything the MSA sends me, anything about concert promotions, anything about special guests coming to the school to talk. And then I feel like promotions should be things like the campus store is having 10% off on sweaters and things like that. That could go into there. And then my important emails could be my tuition, stuff from my teachers, things that I'm going to actually have to respond to within the next couple of days, or stuff for the consequences. It's a big topic that I feel a lot of people in Mohawk would have an opinion. And if you do, we want to hear from you. You can go onto Twitter and you can tweet us at #GoBehindTheMic, hashtag it he said, she said. We want to know what you have to say on the topic. I'd like to thank Matt for joining me this week and giving us his points. We're going to go back to the studio now with Todd and his special guest.
Yeah, so that was my trip to Cuba. It's really fun.
That sounds fantastic.
So how have you been?
It's been tough. I've been fighting with depression for a long time.
I've got to. I really have to go, so I'll talk to you later.
And we're back live at the agency, Mohawk College. Sitting with me this afternoon is a voiceover talent, Garnet Williams. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Todd? Thank you.
I'm welcome. Thank you. I'm welcome. I'm well. Thank you.
We're both welcome.
I wanted to find out, maybe you can tell us about how you actually got started and why you actually wanted to add your experience to the Mohawk College students here.
Well, I started out as a Mohawk College student myself many years ago, back in 1900, and I took radio and got into the radio industry and found a lot of people also did voice work on the side, voice acting for infomercials, for commercials, for all kinds of different projects. And after working behind the scenes, recording some of these DJs that were doing voice work, I realized, hey, why not me? I was voicing some stuff in the radio station anyway. So I put together a demo of some voices and me reading commercials, different characters and stuff like that, and I sent it off to some agencies, and I got, fortunately, I got an agent, and then just been doing it ever since. And when the opportunity became available for me to come back to Mohawk and actually teach in the same course I graduated from, I teach production, but I also put a lot of emphasis on directing voice talent and working on your reads to become a better voice talent. So it's kind of merging the radio worlds and the voiceover worlds
really cool.
together. Yeah,
That's really cool. Where did you get your first inspiration from, actually, to do voiceover?
I don't know. I think as a kid I was a class clown, and you know, used to get in a lot of trouble for imitating cartoon characters or characters from TV and stuff like that. When you're out in public with your parents, and you get cuffed upside the head because you're in Sears and you're not supposed to be messing around. But doing that kind of stuff and the attention you get from doing that, I think was always a big draw for me. But I never imagined that I would one day be getting paid to do it with other professionals. It was just something that I kind of sidetracked into from my broadcasting career. But even while producing in radio, just out of necessity, you found yourself having to voice because you didn't have enough bodies around the radio station. A commercial needed 4 voices, and you couldn't have like all the DJs voice it, so you'd use like non-announcers, and that's where I started voicing stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really kind of cool. Why do you think it's important for students here at Mohawk to actually learn how to voice image?
Well, the voiceover industry is a lot bigger than people realize. In any given day, you are bombarded with media of all types, from webcasts to TV shows to radio programming to announcements in stores, everything, e-learning courses. And that's all part of the voiceover industry, audiobooks, like it's all part of that, and it just kind of branches off into different genres, if you will. I think anybody that is taking any kind of media-based course, TV, broadcasting, anything like that, film, it only augments your skill set to be comfortable voicing. I'm not saying that you have to be able to do all kinds of character voices, cartoon voices, accents, stuff like that, but just having one really good, strong read that you can like be given a script and just communicate confidently is a skill that everybody should have.
I agree.
Whether it's being used for doing voiceovers or just public speaking. If you're in a boardroom and you have to command attention at a meeting of a bunch of employees, you still have to be able to speak clearly, confidently, and be comfortable doing that. So that's why I try to impress, especially with media students, the importance of working on their ability to voice, even if it's not something they necessarily plan to do. It's still something that's good on the resume, and when a potential employer is looking at your skills, it could give you an edge.
Thank you. So I want to give you congratulations on landing a new deal with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys.
I recently, yes. Once my voice changes, I'm sure this is going to stop once I hit puberty, but I get booked for a lot of toy commercials that run on YTV, Treehouse, Teletoon, stuff like that, just because I have a young sounding voice. So recently Hot Wheels and Air Hogs, like remote controlled airplanes, I've done a few of their commercials. And yes, most recently Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a game called Swaps. It's an app-based game that you can play online and download characters and stuff. And being a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original cartoon and the new cartoon, and being a huge fan of all the voice actors that are on both incarnations, it was very cool to be a part of that. And as I was just talking with Jamie before we went on here, is Rob Paulson, one of the actors from both the original Ninja Turtles and the new, saw my commercial when I posted it on Facebook, and he congratulated me. So that was, like my Christmas and my birthday all at once.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
That's
a lot of
really
fun.
Cool. Do you have a favorite voice that you actually like to do and could do on the spot right this second?
Yeah, because it was the first character voice I ever got booked for. It was for Mary Brown's Chicken, and there were these two chickens that talked together. One wants to be a Mary Brown's chicken. He thinks that he's good enough, and his friend, played by me, tells him that he's never going to be good enough. So he'd be like, I want to be a Mary Brown's chicken. I'm like, Stanley, you're never going to be good enough to be a Mary Brown's chicken. They only want the best ones. And it was just the character tried out, auditioned for it. They said, oh, can you do something different? We want him to sound a little more sarcastic. So I just kind of took a little New York with a little Joe Pesci and kind of sarcasmed it up, and that was it. But it was the first job I got. I was animated,
right?
Because he's a little tiny chicken and his big dopey friend. But it was the first time that I did an animated voice and a character thing for a national campaign. So it was a lot of fun.
I'd like to thank you for coming in. It's a great pleasure to
have
have you in.
Thank you.
We're going to go live now to Liv down the SPCA.
Thanks. Hey, this is Liv live from the Hamilton Burlington SPCA. Today I'm joined by Pam Jameson, who is the dog care specialist.
Actually, I've been working with dogs for about 30 years here at the SPCA for 25 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, am I a specialist or an expert? I think I learn something new every day. It's like I started yesterday, and there's always something new to learn in terms of behavior or why animals are surrendered into our care,
For sure.
what type of home they need.
For sure. And we're here also with Teddy, who is an Akita mix.
Yeah, he actually is an Akita. He's a very nice looking boy. He needs a little bit of weight on him. Is this a dog for everybody? I don't know. They're very aloof, this type of breed. They're not known to party with other dogs. They like to be one on their own, and they can be very, very loyal to their new companions. Magnificent, again, a magnificent breed, ideal to walk. He can be around other dogs. He may just not be able to live with another dog.
Okay, so I understand you have another dog for us as well.
I do. I'm going to go get my buddy, Jordan. You know what? Jordan's about 1.5 years. And it's really odd because when you look at him, he's very appealing to look at.
For sure.
What kind of breed is he? Well, who knows for sure unless you did genetic testing, but we can assume that maybe he's got some hound, border collie, a little bit of a whole lot of different breeds. There's a little Peter Pan in there waiting to come out, really and truly. And again, with exercise and training, and I would say that about every single dog that we have in our care, being responsible and respectful to what they need and what they bring to us. It's powerful.
For sure. So how did he get here? Was he like abandoned?
A stray from Animal Control Services. And they come into our care for a variety of reasons, as I'm sure you're aware. They'll come in as a stray to Animal Control Services, who we work very closely with. So many animals go over there on a daily basis. It's very sad to know that in this beautiful community that we live in that happens. A stray is abandoned by their owner or turned in. They do their stray time and they come into our care. We'd say this was a very loved animal. Due to unfortunate circumstances, they came into our care.
Yep.
And then there's the horror side of it, where we have our cruelty department that work tirelessly every day out there with animals that have been neglected, abused, beaten. So many horrible things happen to them. And then they come here, and that's the happy point in their life.
Yeah.
And people think, at a shelter, happy for a pet? Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Because they are so loved and taken care of medically and mentally.
And they just need to find their forever home.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have another dog as well?
Sure. Yes, we do. Yes, I'm going to bring out another one that's been with us for quite some time, and he has a specific behavior that we can talk about.
So here we have Bishop. As you can see, he's very energetic and such a sweetheart.
He seems curious about everything, doesn't he?
For sure.
If somebody were coming up to adopt Bishop, I think I would let them know that he should go to a home with an experienced handler. And some people will say, well, I've had dogs all my life. But handling the dog in certain behaviors, learning behavior skills is really important when you get a dog like Bishop. Bishop has what's called resource guarding. So he's very protective of his food bowl. So that needs to be worked with every single day. That behavior needs to be managed. We need to teach him it's not a threat. Don't worry, you're always going to have your food. And we give great information and feedback on how to work with a dog like that with Bishop. So if somebody wants to give him a second chance and work with behavior, this is the dog for you, because he's going to give it back to you tenfold.
For sure. I can already tell that he's the biggest sweetheart. Well, I just want to thank you for talking to us today.
Oh, no problem. I
and
like to
bringing
talk
in all the
about dogs.
They're very awesome.
Yes,
so
they are.
If you want to find more information on Teddy, Jordan, or Bishop today, you can visit www.hbspca.com, and we'll throw it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Liv. That is it for another episode of Behind the Mic, live at the agency from Mohawk College. I want to thank everybody who is here today. Casey, Garnet, our special guest, John, Todd. We have Oski Wee Wee, that's right, Oski Wee Wee. Be sure you're watching the Grey Cup this coming Sunday. We have Matt and Steph in the back, he said, she said. All right, keep listening, or tune into Ignite Radio, actually. Click on the Listen Live link, it's above me somewhere here. You're going to want to tune in there. This way? It's this way. Okay, I'm being told it's this way. Tune in. We're going to be on for the next 15 minutes talking about some of the things we didn't get to today, as well as playing some great music. We will see you guys next week.